what I'm saying. Right.
All right, you live.
Is it out there? Or did you get it here?
No,
What's
I haven't
up,
gotten it yet.
Facebook?
Your emails always back there. Take their time, bro. I didn't even like singing this when I was in church, like in the choir.
Marcel coming?
Mm-hmm. He said he's late because of Trump.
Well,
How's that make sense?
hey, hey, that's the excuse of the day.
True.
You take it. What was the excuse yesterday?
The election.
Hello?
My streets was empty.
Let me have two
My
kids.
streets was
With who?
I got 2 kids. I'm late. Every time I'm late,
bro.
you know
Before
what time?
hi.
before I left, the dude was
You know
walking
what
down the street and the comment was crying.
You're crying.
In public.
Yes, I'm about to go on air.
Man.
Can you call me at
Does he
1:15?
still have his job? There's people who woke up and didn't have their job today.
That's a great
There's
question.
a lot of people that work here that didn't have their job today.
Yeah, 1:15 would be great.
Where?
Is that me?
No.
How many seconds I got?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I got so call me at 1:15. That'd be great. Anytime between 1 or after 1:15 or 1:30.
What? The script.
Boom.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I think I'm getting in now. Yep. And then I'm just gonna mute you, put your name in, and then once the
It's all good, bro.
once the show starts, and then we're ready to keep it on.
Yeah, we're ready in the show.
Volume all the way down. Yep, cool.
You want this?
This the
This is just the
Just kind of keep
gotcha. Keep us straight.
What song is this? Fade it and play the next one.
Okay.
Is that Don't Cry?
Yeah.
This is what we're playing now?
Yes.
Well, come on in. Let's go in.
Better go in.
Yeah, because I'm about to go ham. My anxiety's already up. Can I have some nuts or something? Can I get something? I don't know. I don't want no candy. I can't eat chocolate. All these diet restrictions. Like, really, what's going on? I ain't lost no weight. Trump is the president. Can't cuss on Inspiration 1390. What's really going on? I can't either. I can't afford for you not to have it. I need all black men working.
All right, Tamara, you ready? You got about 45 seconds.
Oh, you can't listen. Okay. Come on, quickly. What's going on? That's him. This me. Thank you.
You got 35.
What's up, Tina?
20. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And after the storm comes the calm. Well, I don't know about you all, but last night was anxiety filled. It was exciting. It was exhilarating, disappointing. I mean, it was like a cornucopia of emotions, right? I stayed up till about 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't take no more. And so then I went to sleep. But after the election is over, we can still guarantee these results. Now, what doesn't matter which candidate you voted for, you were rooting for, the results are the results. But God is still on the throne. Jesus is still the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. The Bible still has the answers to every one of your problems, and the tomb will still be empty. Jesus will still be on the only way to heaven, and prayer still works. So I suggest for all of you whose candidate didn't win that you pray, and pray again. It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and I'm proudly posted in the studio with the Brunch Bunch. Everybody came in here solemn today, but we're going to crank it up a little bit, y'all, because we got a great guest, 2 great guests for you today. And of course, we're going to talk all things politics. Y'all, don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on Inspiration 1390.
Hey, my people, ready
Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Don't cuss.
I can't.
You can't.
I cannot.
I know.
Last night I was so prayerful. I was just like, I was telling everybody just pray harder. Y'all ain't praying hard enough. What's up with the prayers? Where the prayers at? Y'all took the P out of prayers. What's going on? Put the pre back in prayers. Like we need to put the S on the end of it. Come on, y'all do every single letter.
Ceasing, right? Ain't that what the word says?
What? Oh
Without
Lord,
ceasing.
Christian, I don't know.
Without ceasing.
Pray
Without ceasing.
incessantly,
Come on.
ceaselessly in prayer.
Mhm.
Y'all, listen. I don't know. Today, of course, the question of the day is the question for your online, your social media from us is: did your candidate win? And if your candidate did not win, tell me how you're feeling. I just want to know. Like, were you shocked about the results? Tina tell my girl, I need a drink.
Don't look at me like that.
Well, come on, God is still on the throne. That's right, Tina. And he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Let me tell you something. My whole network is like bummed.
2 minutes.
But is it 10? Is it 10 minutes? Yeah.
2 minutes.
Do we have our guest on the line? He hasn't called yet. Okay.
The other one on. See what the battery is. Well, good morning, sunshine.
Got your sunshine. What's up, Carla? What's up, Tawana?
Christian Perry, how you feeling,
I'm
brother?
coming to show you some love.
What's up, DJ Jazzy Keys?
Rough morning.
Yeah, I want all of that gone.
On the phone. Grieve and pray.
Be grieving. But I guess for me, it was a landslide. Like
Well, I'm gonna help us understand that it wasn't really.
1.5.
it really was.
You know, he got.
She really didn't hit. She really didn't get not any of the battleground states.
Correct.
Right.
So
But
The margins in those states aren't as.
Well, what you mean? They ain't as big as they feel today.
They feel big.
I mean-
They feel big today because Joe Biden won by a fraction. Like we got 51-52.
Yeah, bigger.
So if
He
that
had
was
bigger
your-
splits though.
He had bigger splits, but when you look at the exit polls, it's really three groups, and that's
Right,
Latino
Tina.
men,
45,
It
y'all.
was
45.
men in general.
Latino men, it's white men, and white women. Right. So when you look at it from that lens,
Yeah.
you know, it's a little less doom and gloom.
It's going good. It's
Yeah,
going good.
same day registers went up. That was interesting to see too.
The
Yeah,
kids,
she got
man.
47% of the vote.
30
It's
seconds, y'all.
50.9,
30 seconds.
But him winning the popular vote's crazy.
He won the
Yes.
popular vote
He
and the
did.
electoral vote.
He did.
Wow.
He did.
So I'm trying to figure out
America really
what
has
your
spoken.
new definition of landslide is.
America, take it up.
Well, so
15, y'all,
I just
15.
feel like landslide is
Stop, Josh.
dramatic. You know, landslide said to me
This
a
is
landslide
dramatic.
is 5 points or more, right?
Really, this is dramatic
Alright,
to
so
me.
we're
Let me
going
tell you
in.
why.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about it all right
I
now.
know.
On
I
air.
know.
We're talking about it online.
Right. One in, y'all.
Look, I'm gonna listen to her. I'm gonna listen to her definition of landslide.
Go ahead, Smith.
It's in the row with Tamara Bell on the air. You know what?
You know what? I thought I did that already. Let me tell you something.
That's
I
a
stayed
Trump
up so
syndrome.
long. No, I got trumped.
Clearly.
I done called trumped. And I don't mean I'm going, listen, we're talking all things politics as we aforementioned. And we got our great guest in today, Christian Perry. And we are so glad to welcome him back to the Brunch Bunch. He's a seasoned political strategist and CEO of Grind Greatly LLC. Well, Christian returns to break down the latest election results and what they mean for Chicago and beyond. And I gotta tell you, there's so many people waiting and gonna hold on to your every word. So you better make these words count, my
no
brother.
pressure, huh?
No
Right,
pressure.
I like these.
So we want to give you a big
Good thing
Brunch
I was
Bunch
in prayer
welcome
this
back.
morning. No pressure.
And
No
if
pressure.
Tamara sounds a little distorted, it's the peanut she keeps
It's not the
talking
peanut.
about.
It's the oranges.
The oranges.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
funny.
you know what? I'm like, you are nuts. But listen, I'll say this before we get into the political jargon. As I was writing in, a song popped on my playlist, and it's a reminder to the believers: be still and know that I am God.
That's
He
right.
is the God today, yesterday, and forevermore. So whatever happened, well, we know what happened. What happened does not affect the kingdom or the believers that reside in the kingdom, because
That's right.
God is still God.
Still on
He
the
is,
throne.
but that dismantling of the Department of Education makes me feel like,
That's right.
okay, God, I'm gonna
Right.
need you to come right back right now. Okay.
That's right.
So anyway, Christian, a lot of people have a lot of anxiety about this election, and particularly those who were rooting for Kamala and rooting for change and rooting for a change that did not involve dictatorship. So a lot of people have it in their heads that Trump will be the example of what a United States dictator will become. Now, you have a different perspective on it or a different spin on it, so that, and we're really eager to hear it. So let's get to it.
Yeah. So I'm once again first grateful to be here with you all. Grateful to be with believers on this morning. Grateful to be talking to our people, and that's how I'm gonna couch a lot of my remarks today. I think, to your point, majority of people that listen to this program either live in Chicago or Illinois or surrounding areas and are Black. Those folks in large numbers we saw supported Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Right. There was a narrative out there that Black men maybe wouldn't do their job. The only demographic that outperformed Black men are the cities in which we follow their lead. Right. Black men came in around anywhere between 80 to 85%. And Democrats actually improved from 2020 amongst Black women. So with that understanding about where Black folks' hopes and aspirations were, what I have to share with people, and I hope people hear my heart when I say this, is it's okay to grieve today.
Yeah.
It's okay to make space for all of your feelings and for us to interrogate in community why it is that we're grieving, right? Because America, unfortunately, has elected white supremacists before, right?
They just didn't know it. This time,
Some
you
of
know
them
it.
knew. I
Go back
beg
to
to
the
differ.
60s.
They
I mean,
knew it.
I would say Bull Connor and some of those folks that our ancestors organized against were pretty ardent white supremacists and clear.
Yeah, well, that wasn't in my generation, so I don't really know about that. But let me tell you what I do know.
What you know?
We got one now.
We got one now. We got one now.
And what it wouldn't concern me so much if they didn't have all the branches of government sewn up. The House and the Senate and possibly the House, because there would be a balance, and that's what it was designed to be. And so the design has actually gone awry now. And so I'm excited that we have our resident Republican, Jeff Coleman, who's on the line, and so that you all can have an exchange, because now, of course, he called me this morning talking about, oh, hold on for a second, let me pop this champagne. I'm like, I want you to crack it upside your head once you pop it.
Because we got to talk about what this administration means for Black women.
Exactly.
What it means for my Black son, right? There are some real implications that are damning for our people.
Well, when you talk about what Trump says about he's going to reinstitute stop and search, then to me, that goes back to post Jim Crow.
That's right.
And that's really impactful for Black people. Now, I know Hispanics came out in large numbers. And I don't understand that, because if you tell me you're going to put a chain around my neck, guess what? You're not getting my vote. If you tell me you're going to build a wall and you're going to keep my people out, guess what? You're not getting my vote. But they came out in large numbers.
Well, there's a politics of grievance that Trump and the Republican Party are well versed in, right? The reality is that human beings are not thinking beings that have feelings. We are feeling beings that think occasionally. And what the Republican Party is good at is playing on the fears and the doubts and the worry of working class people. So you can have somebody say that I don't want you in my country, call some of your community living on a floating rock of garbage, say I'm gonna build a wall to keep you out, you got murderers and rapists, and you can convince yourself that he might make the economy better for me, even though he don't like me, even though those and his people don't care for me. If I cry, they won't help me wipe my tears. If I'm hungry, they won't feed me. If I'm naked, they won't clothe me. And yet, unfortunately, proximity to whiteness in this country sometimes benefits some people. But what Black and brown people have not learned, let me not say Black people, but our brown brothers and sisters have not learned just yet, is that proximity to whiteness is not going to keep you from the detriments and some of the pain and evil and wickedness that white supremacy purports.
Right. So we want to welcome our resident Republican, Jeff Coleman. I want to give you a big brunch bunch. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome back to the Brunch Bunch.
Thank you. I love your show. I want to be very nice to you because I know you will go full.
Ham. So come on with it.
Well, my pleasure. But I've been listening, and I've been in Chicago and all of my life. I grew up Democrat, and I just don't understand. I don't see the world that was just described. I see Black people continuing to devote their votes to a system, a one-party system that has deprived us out of schools, our public safety. As a matter of fact, in every state in the union that's democratically ran, it looks the same. It's mirrored. So I can't remember the last time we've had a Republican control in Illinois, a serious control Republican Party. I don't see it. I don't see where all this fear is coming from because we've been under arrest with the Democratic Party since I can remember. Show me where the prosperity is, the opportunity. What's the detriment to our young people today in our streets? Who's responsible for it? We elect the same people over and over again, religiously. I'm not asking people to become Republicans. I'm just asking people to boost their political IQ. Stop being so emotionally attached and blindly dedicated to a one-party system. Remember we only had one phone company back in the day?
No, I remember that either. No, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, you had the Mobile telephone, Tamara.
I know, I'm kidding.
So monopolies don't work. When you go to a car dealership, do you just go to one dealer to shop for the best value? Why do we do that? Why do we allow ourselves to be pitched?
Well, let me ask you something, Jeff. I don't mean to cut you off, but here I go cutting you off. I don't know if this is so much party as it is person. I don't think that the party is what minorities have a problem with, because when I talk to people who are starch Democrats, they usually say, but some of the Republican policies and theories and ideologies I totally agree with. But because of the supremacists and the separatism, I can't vote that way. So I don't really know if we're talking party or that person. I think it's the Trump aspect of it, or the Trump effect, if you will, that really scares people.
Yeah, and if I could jump in there, Jamar, and add, I want us to be very careful in this moment to not disrespect the intelligence of Black voters. I said north of 80% of Black men. I said north of 85% of Black women. They are not dumb. Black people have always been the conscience and the soul of this country. Any justice that we have experienced in this country that has brought us toward liberation has been on the backs and in the brains of our ancestors, right? So if Black folks say this is the most expedient way, right, with all the complexities, the paradox of liberty in this country that we live with, nobody is saying that the Democrats have an S on their chest and we're expecting them to fix my life tomorrow. What we're saying is, in which two spaces, Black people are very smart in this way. Where do I have more voice, more agency, more access to power to bring around transformation for people that look like me?
Come on.
Especially since I've only had the vote since 1965 and my grandmother was born before then.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff, it's on you.
Listen, I respect his opinion and his views, and he articulates very well. But I'm a Republican not just because I voted for Donald Trump. I'm a conservative. My views align with conservative values.
Can I ask what conservative means to you?
I don't have enough time to explain it in detail, but I can tell you this. To be quite honest, I like owning my own firearm. I like my religious freedom. I like big government to stay out of my little business. I don't want to be forced transgender educational direction. I want basically I want to again I can go into this for about another 45 days, but
Jeff.
Well, you only got 45 seconds.
Yeah,
so
right.
consolidate.
Well, Jeff, I respect your position and that you're a Republican. And of course, we love having you on and hearing your point of view and bringing some of your Republican clients and friends
Like
to
Bob
the show.
Ready.
No, what's my girl, Peggy?
Peggy is very issue
But
controversial.
I want to know, when you talked about Black people blindly just trusting the Democratic Party, right? Now, why did Republicans just blindly trust Donald Trump? Why didn't the Republican Party call? We heard Republicans talking about Joe Biden was too old. We heard that he didn't know, he wasn't mentally sound. But
why? It's a 3-year difference between Joe Biden.
It's a 3-year difference in age. And Donald Trump seemed to go off the rail towards the end. But we saw Republicans just blindly trusting a party. and not looking at the person that they were sending to represent the party. Because did Donald Trump really represent your morals and values as a Republican?
You do realize that Donald Trump was president before, right?
I do.
For 4 years. He just didn't fall out of the sky. So blindly, so what I mean by blindly is, so you go to the polls, and I was coming up, we had those palm cards that told you basically, this is a Democratic slate, this is what you vote for. And we obeyed that blindly. That's what I mean by that. Now, it's up to anybody's own individual felt to make a determination who they want to vote for.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't answer that question and speak for the Republicans and the Democrats and the independents that actually did vote for Donald Trump. It wasn't just Republicans. Those numbers tell you that automatically. Record-breaking numbers. That means somebody straddled the fence.
A lot of people straddled the fence.
Yeah. So what I mean by blindly, I mean that we have been devoting our votes, regardless of platform or whatever, just because of a party that we devoted to, who has not been devoted to us at all. I don't see any advantage of.
So Jeff, let me ask you a question. Take Donald Trump.
Irrespective of history. Go ahead, Tamara.
Take Donald Trump out of the equation. Take Kamala out of the equation, and well, I don't know if you can really take Donald Trump out of this equation for what I'm getting ready to ask you. He has actually exhibited a history of racism. Let's start back with the Brooklyn Five. He said they should all be hung, drugged down Madison Avenue. Took out an ad. This was pre-presidency, and continued to spew racist epithets and constantly encouraging people to act in accordance outside of the law. He himself has acted in accordance outside of the law. He is an indicted and convicted person. Now, if as a black man, and I'm only talking as a black man, if that were you, if that were your son who had been a victim of that kind of suppression, oppression, racism, and no, even if you had the means to get out of jail, you still weren't allowed to get out of jail, would you feel differently? And I want you to take party aside, just put your human aspect into this question.
I don't like madness, whatever direction it comes from. This is not personal. I'm not dating Donald Trump. He's not a particular, superhero of mine, but I understand the reason why I'm engaged in a Republican Party. So, I'm pretty sure it's individuals or personalities that most people don't like in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. But that's not what motivates me.
Yeah, I think
he has to deal with his own demons. I'm not responsible for those.
Yeah, but the leader of the free world, if they have some serious demons, that should bring cause for a lot of people. I'll take the question a step further, Tammy.
Thank you.
And that is that, when I vote, I don't vote for myself. I vote for the women in my life that I love, and I vote for my son who cannot vote. And when I think about the leader of the free world, being one that is okay with, and that the majority of the electorate said 100% okay to grab women by their private parts. That's a belief that I hold as your president and commander in chief, that there's a segment of people that are not worthy of what those that look like me are worthy of. What we have to interrogate is what message one is that sending to the world, what message is that sending to the marginalized in this country. And I think those questions, irrespective of party, and we can have a lot of conversations about data, understanding polls and electoral strategy. We have a heart problem. We have less of a, strategist, let's do this. We're going to have those conversations. And the data is pretty clear on where Democrats could have done better and what Republicans did to capitalize on the electorate. What we need to have a larger conversation, particularly if you're talking about Black people, and I really want to talk to people of faith here, is what is the larger role that we all need to play in civil society, not just with your vote, not just with your elected officials, but in your churches, in your homes, in your schools, and in your businesses, there is a societal disease that America has not yet wrestled to the ground. And I think that's what this moment is speaking to. That not only is that disease alive and well, it has the potential to spread.
It doesn't just have the potential to spread. It's seeded. It's getting watered. And I guess that's where the fear mongering comes in, because people are now just afraid. Like some of my friends have actually, prior to the election results coming in, they actually got dual citizenship outside of the country. And a lot of people, like even some of my colleagues that were doing business and selling their businesses, have gotten notice now because of the election results. They're not going to buy. And so it's not just a economy thing. It's not just a racist thing. It's a human thing. Like we woke up to a new world order, or the potential to have a new world order. But to be fair, and when we come back, we're going to discuss, where did the Harris campaign go wrong and what could have been done better to actually ensure that she was elected, like we all thought that she would be. Y'all, back in a moment. It's Inspiration 1390.
Do you have his number? Because we have a number.
He said he's calling into the studio.
Oh, that was D Nash texting me.
What's the number?
Oh, you have his number?
I don't know who on the line.
Don't say it out loud.
664 number.
Are we through with the guy that was on the phone?
No, he's still gonna stay.
So how we gonna get D Nash on?
664.
That's
D
not
Nash.
on
That's
phone?
D Nash.
Oh,
Y'all want to put them on at the same time?
Yeah, put them all on at the same time.
Can we do
I
that?
just want you to know.
it's gonna be hard.
No, we can't. Just,
I just want you to know, Jeff, D Nash finna roast you.
like he got on the control. He like,
Yeah.
prepared.
Huh?
Sound like he was ready.
Where's Jeff?
All right, I'm back entering the studio.
Okay.
Jeff, you left? He's
But
on hold. He's on hold.
I definitely want to.
You have the soul has been knocked out of you.
Okay, the soul is coming back. Is what's going on. I want to end this phone line stuff.
That's gonna make the show real quick.
I want to take some callers from the believers, and I would like to just kind of discuss. Now, the back and forth Republican Democrat is cool, but like you said, now I just want to kind of discuss where they went wrong, our thoughts on what's coming next, other people's thoughts.
What's today?
Wednesday.
Oh,
I got
okay.
them both.
No, we alternate Wednesdays.
And
It's
it's
my
not
week.
No, it's not.
I don't know when we get it, but it's my segment coming up. Okay.
Well, Jeff ain't going nowhere.
What a day.
Oh my God! Some of the onliners said that they have friends that sold everything to move to Cape Town. South
Cape
Africa.
Town.
Cape Town.
I'm about to say out west.
You're not funny. This ain't funny today.
Every day is funny. This
It
is the
is.
day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Yeah.
All right. There should be two people on the phone right now. Can both voices
He
hear me?
had.
All right, D
I can hear you.
All
Is
right.
Jeff on the
Great. Both people are on the phone. All right.
That's so
you guys
D-Nash.
kind of just stay
D
locked.
Nash, that's you?
They can't hear you.
Okay, let us hear. Make sure.
They can hear you now.
D Nash, that's you?
They both can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm making sure we didn't get
First of all,
infiltrated.
I know his voice in my sleep.
We got one and a
Of
half.
course. I love you, Bobby Fair.
I love you, D-Man.
What's up? All right, listen. Cut this and go to what's going on. Let's go.
What'd you say?
We had a hell of a fight this morning.
Don't forget you can't cuss.
Yeah,
on
don't
1390.
forget. I know it's been a while, bro, but
All right, everybody ready? We about to go back in.
Yeah.
All right, guys on the phone, we about to go back in, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You gonna bring D Nash up in a second?
maybe not.
I'll mute your mic. I'll mute your mic.
So what's going on is last night, America re-elected Donald Jamal Trump as president of these United States of America. Is that his middle name? Tell me, is that his middle name? I don't know what the J stand for. But I did want to share before we jump back into this panel. I saw a very interesting post from Pastor Reginald Sharp this morning. And it read, the last time I sat frozen like this morning was when my grandmother passed away in 2018. He said, I'm grieving with many of my family members and siblings today. It's disgusting to see what white supremacy can get away with in this country. It's disgusting to watch us fight each other as the American empire crushes us. It's disgusting to see Black women and marginalized communities invisibilized. It's disgusting to see people who claim to follow Jesus elect Donald J. Trump to be the president again. Today I grieve and I sing, I grieve and I preach, I grieve. And he ended with Amanda Gorman said, even as we grieve, we grew. And I hope so. And so I shared that. It's a lot that we can unpack in that post, but I shared the ending was the best part. Even as we grieved, we grew. And so that is our prayer, because some of us are grieving. I'm not upset.
I just wish we had grew day before yesterday.
well, yeah, that would have been nice. But I'll say this, in my opinion, I'm not upset at the election results because I felt it was going to happen. I'm upset at the direction that the country has gone in, right?
That's, I think, everybody's sentiment.
I'm upset because, so I'm not upset that Donald Trump is in the White House because I don't care who in the White House for myself, because personally I'm gonna be all right, you know. But I'm thinking, like Christian said, my nephew, my sister, my nieces, my cousins, my brothers, my neighbors who don't have the wherewithal, don't have the financial resources, don't have seats at tables. And I was peeved because they wasn't gonna let a Black woman run this country, regardless of what Donald J. Trump policies were or were not, because they say he didn't have any. It was just, we not letting this Black woman run this country. And that was a little disheartening. And it was also, I just want Jeff to do one thing for me. Go back and tell Donald Trump, now that he's president, to take the felony box off every job application. Because if you could be president and have a felony, I think any position in this country should be open to anybody. So let's make it even across the board. But with that being said, we have one of the founding members, this sounds like a church, founding members of the Brunch Bunch joining this panel. That's none other than Brother D9.
Yes, it's afternoon. You must have been up all night.
It's after the election. Good after the election.
That's right.
So it's the VC.
That's
right.
Before the election and after the election.
That's right.
Well, I'm actually inspired, encouraged, and more so ready to fight more than anything this afternoon. You know, a leopard doesn't change his spots. Zebras don't change their stripes, right? So we knew this man was who he was in the 70s. In the 80s, when he was discriminating houses against us. But we propped him up in our community as if he was something that he wasn't, because he did the cool things and do whatever. And in every rap song, and when politicians would go and need money from Donald J. Trump, they were taking pictures with him. Everybody from Oprah Winfrey to Reverend Jackson to Al Sharpton, they all been in pictures with this man, and he's been who he is since birth. That man has been who he is. So now that he's been who he is, I know I got a fight on my hands this morning. So it was just two things that, and I sent them to you earlier, Tammy Bell, that I really wanted to say. And I'm glad you said that about the pastor, because I actually went on his page and said something to that post, right?
Mm-hmm.
But two of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, I said, the first thing I said was, regardless the president, Black people still have a tremendous fight locally. Violence, joblessness, poor education, business and home ownership. Migrants getting more help in our communities than us. We better learn to come together and unite very fast. We are too divided to get real results.
And see, you know what, D-Nash? You know what I thought? I thought that this would be the example that we could show the world that we were able to galvanize and actually have a voting bloc that would be respected for times indefinite with Kamala.
And I'm in agreement with you, right? But as we were seeing seeing, I just on the outside in, because I didn't have a dog in a fight nor a horse in the race. I was nonpartisan on this. I just wanted to vote the issues, and I wanted to be for our people. You know, I'm unapologetically us, right?
That's right.
So with that being said, I was just sitting back. When she was bringing more and more celebrity, and it was more about the celebrity and more about, shaking our butts, I saw how black women were taking that too. Like, I saw how the more celebrities came out, the more kind of like people was having grumblings like, that's not what we need right now, and this and that. So we thought that it was going to be the star power that got people out, but that wasn't what I was seeing.
Kind of sort of though, because Donald Trump has his own star power.
Yeah, and can I just once again, I'm gonna keep referring back to human beings being primary.
A lot of his star power even came from us.
Wait 1 second, D.
Can
One
he
second,
hear Christian?
D. Can you hear Christian? He wants to respond to what you said. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that human beings are feeling creatures that think occasionally. Kamala Harris was plus 58 with black men. Joe Biden was plus 60. Kamala Harris was plus 85 with black women. Joe Biden was plus 81. Black people in incredibly large and historic margins not only did their part, but said, this is our sister and this is who should be leading. So I want us to talk, if we have feelings about anecdotal conversations that we've had in the community or seen on social media, that's one thing. But factually, black people overwhelmingly said, this is my candidate. She represents the majority of my values. Mm-hmm. So I just want to make sure that when we're talking to people, we have audiences, that we place our feelings in one conversation and facts in another.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in agreement with that.
Facts over feelings. I love it.
Facts over feelings. And over fear.
Another part is like how we've always talked on the Brunch is that we know that our local government is very, very, very important to the daily lives of us, right?
Yep.
I feel like the president is more symbolic, and our local government is more of our daily bread. It's unfortunate. I'm hurt because our people are hurting, right?
Yeah.
And we're so emotional about it. And the last part I wanted to say was, I told the pastor, I went on his page and was like, there's no time to freeze up, right? Because right now we need our strong men to be, our clergymen and our leadership to be very, very strong right now. I get that, it's very emotional and we're grieving, and I don't look at it as that deep. I look at it as it's time to stand up, unite more than ever. And if America haven't showed us nothing, is we did, like you just said, we did unite in our voters block. So it must have been something that was outside of our community that made us do this.
Well, D Nash, you said something, and I wrote a note to Tammy. I said we got to cover some other races, right? The presidential race was important, but we have some local races that were very important. And I told Valencia this morning, and I could watch the news. You could see the hurt in the anchors' faces on The View. I felt sorry for them ladies because they've been ripping into Donald Trump. And one thing we do know is he's very vindictive. So I'm afraid for the people that attacked him, what he may try to do to them. But like I told Valencia, I'm a little disappointed in our people, but I'm energized to fight a different fight now. And that is,
we did vote, bro.
Well, I'm disappointed in the ones that didn't vote. We did not. Let's talk about the voter turnout numbers of the people who didn't come out and vote. Let's talk about the 50 plus text messages I got asking me, who are these judges and who should I vote for? And how I had to continuously send out voter guides to my people. So I ain't talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I know. And so my energy is to now in the next 4 years get out, mobilize, educate. 2 years. All right, well, yeah, because we got other. Yeah.
We get Congress and Senate another chance in 26. We vote for a governor. We're gonna vote for state reps, state senators. So y'all, we really got 18 months.
Right.
We can
So
make a dent in this thing.
in
Right?
18
So
months,
4
yeah.
years from now is you start today. How do we make in-grounds back? Because we got to get one of those chambers back.
Yeah.
Right. We know that.
That's true.
If they have the House and they have the Senate, then all of our eyes who are disappointed this morning needs to be toward 26. And what I'll say about the connection, having worked in federal government, state government, and local government, the reality is there are things that the federal government can do, spending wise,
You're right,
that local municipalities and state governments cannot do. So it's not either or, but it's both and, right?
Mhm.
And the local, obviously, all politics are local, and we should not be misguided or think that what's happening at the federal level does not impact our everyday lives.
That's true.
It does.
That's true. And so that's what we need to be. So you're right, not 4 years, 2 years. Tomorrow, it starts tomorrow. Grieve today, work tomorrow.
Say, take today and let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I'm black on today. I got my black women are the best thing since ever.
I got my black man joy button on. I'm ready.
So we grieve today and are all black, and tomorrow we
got to get to it.
Done and save this country.
But I did want to say something.
Wait, we do all got all black.
Grieving day. But everybody in the studio has on black. But
I ain't gonna
you know
say
what?
except no.
I was going to say to Dinesh that I don't necessarily agree with the fact that the presidency and the federal government is symbolic. I think that states depend heavily on federal dollars to be infused in order to balance their budgets. And if you actually look at the states that do have balanced budgets, it is largely in part because of those federal dollars.
Yeah.
And so we are codependent on them. And so it does matter who's in office, because it does matter if you're one of those people on his list, governors on his list, you may not get the federal dollars. Exactly.
So we're here, right? We're here, January 20th. Donald Trump will be sworn in and inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. Now, if you want to get on the bus with me and we go block the doors. No, I'm joking. No, we should make a point to say Vice President Harris will be on TV today at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. our time, giving her address. It is important to note there will be no January 6th. That's right. We can't forget that. Yep. This country, black people, black leadership is the conscience of democracy worldwide. Yeah. We should take pride in that and figure out how to multiply with our brown brothers and sisters, with our white brothers and sisters. But we are in an exercise now of how do we get the country to trust black leadership, because we told them what to do. Now, I wanted to talk about our brown and brothers and sisters, but I wanted to ask Jeff, now that since January 20th is not too far, Jeff, what do you see coming out of the Trump presidency that will help the country moving forward? Jeff, you still there?
I don't think Jeff knows that he's still there, but we do have another caller on the line. But remember too that we are talking about what could the Harris campaign have done, because I have someone who was actually inside the Harris campaign last night and said that they were shocked. They were literally shocked. What could they have done? Right after we take this caller. Caller, you on the line?
What's happening, Mom?
Hey, Byron, that's the Hood Floors, y'all. So as a young man, as a young black man who's in business, how do you feel about this election turnout?
I'm not surprised by it at all, but I also would rather know how much hatred is in the country that we live in than not know. We spend a lot of years, they've been hiding. Some voice make them want to show their face. All right, show me who you are then. And that's my take on it. I wasn't surprised by it, but I would rather know than not know. Right.
So you know how to deal with it face on, as opposed to something clandestine, and you're not getting the authentic version of themselves. So what do you say to that, Christian?
I think, one, I think what I hear him saying is, better to see you than know, and then to see you and not know. I think if we're honest with ourselves, we've always known that this country is still not, I like what I've been thinking about this morning is that we're in a period of reckoning, organizing, and resistance, right? And the reckoning has to come first. We have to have those serious conversations about who those on the other side of the aisle, who are those that understand the caste system well and understand that Black people are at the bottom of it, right? And what does it mean for our existence? What does it mean for our organizing? What does it mean for, I'm gonna keep saying this because I think it's a message that people need to hear. We are in the process of needing to organize hearts, not minds.
Mm-hmm.
There are Black people, once again, we north of 80%, Black men and women. We shared our heart with you all. Black women are always saving this country from itself, and they weren't listened to.
And that's why I think that it's a travesty that you thought, America, that a Black woman could not lead this country effectively, balance a budget, create policies that were viable to most Americans, if not all, and make sure that we started to stitch back the fractured communities that we have.
Is one of the most qualified candidates to ever run for president. When Barack Obama ascended to the presidency, he had been a state senator, he'd been a U.S. senator, and then he won the White House. Kamala Harris was a county district attorney. She was a statewide attorney general. She was the first Black senator from the state of California. Then she ascends to the White House as vice president, and then she had two levels of sophistication to her resume that Barack Obama did not. Yes. And the American people said, not qualified.
But I don't think that America has actually ever shown up for Black people in droves or to meet the needs that we've ever had.
That's right.
However, we've always done our part. We've always gotten out and voted. And if you've noticed, prior to this election, they've always courted the Black vote. We just didn't know what to do with it. We didn't know how powerful we were. Hopefully this election will show that you have a power. If you are contributing $261 billion to an economy that's consistently in arrears, you are a contributor and you are a valuable contributor. It's just that sometimes we don't know our own strength.
We do not.
Christian, where do we go from here?
We reckon, we organize, and we resist, right? That resistance has to be active, but the organizing has to happen first. And I'll be a broken record. We have to organize the hearts before we get to organizing the minds. You cannot lead with policy. Because this what our people need to know is what is it that Black people that have influence, that have power, that hold seats in government, particularly in places like Illinois and Chicago, right? We got a Black speaker. We got a Black lieutenant governor. We got a Black county executive. We got a Black mayor.
Yep.
Even in all that Blackness, one of my teachers at West Austin got this text just now. Grand Rising, you have been selected to participate in our slave program. We will be to pick you up from your home location at 6 p.m. promptly following your return from work. Please gather all important belongings as you will not be able to return to your home until the next presidential election and will be in 2028. Thank you so much for your understanding and cooperation. This is not something that's contrived. You can't make this up. It's all kicking off right now.
Pure hatred. And if we don't come together, I don't want to say if we don't come together, because we are together. At least it's a voting block. What I want to harp on is there's deep organizing that we need to do as a people to figure out how we better advocate for the highest and best needs for our own socioeconomic, but overall well-being as a people. We have power. When you send in stuff like that to people that you don't know, that's coming from a place of fear and insecurity.
Yeah, but let's just kick that back. Here's the telephone number. Call them. 773-347-3686. 773-347-3686. Because you talk about that power, let's exercise it right now. Let's kick it off right now.
Well, Christian, thank you for joining us. We got to have you back because we didn't gloss over that for the first time in Chicago history, there was a school board election and 10 were elected yesterday to join the 11 that Mayor Johnson appointed. And so
did Rhymefest win?
He did. Okay, yeah, okay. Look, I was about to say, I don't know. I was so focused on.
They called it, but last I checked, he was in the league.
And shout out to Carrie Steele, who won re-election, president of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District. She threw a very nice election night event, her and her husband, Maze Jackson, last night. Good. And so I was very excited. But I want to end with this because the Bible is right and somebody's wrong. That's what the old saints used to say. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. Ephesians 4:31-32. Listen.
Awesome.
Just
you
be
don't
nice.
End this because this is my day, and I
I'm
really
so-
want to talk about
Lucy
what
and Satan.
could Kamala have done better. Where did we go wrong here?
Yeah, so if you look at the communities in which Trump made the most gains, the two communities that stand out are Latino men and Latino women, right? He actually, I think, lost a little bit of ground with white men. And so the question becomes, how does the Democratic Party do a better job of organizing because at large, I think it's still 52 to 53% of Latinos still voted with Democrats, but you need that number to be closer to 60% in order to be able to have a coalition that's electable. So in that 7 to 8% of Latinos that decided that whatever Trump was selling them was enough for them to swallow, because I don't want to miss words. I don't believe that Latinos were going and celebrating and being like, hey, yeah, Trump is our guy. I don't know that was the lion's share. I think there was a decision that was made. I think Trump is a great salesman.
Yeah.
In every rally, he said, great economy, great economy, great economy, even though it wasn't true.
But your own personal economy suffered serial bankruptcy.
Even though it wasn't true, there was something that he was able to appeal to. And I'll go back to the politics of grievance. And if you feel like the avatar that is running for president represents your grievance,
the avatar, come on,
then you might be more inclined to support that individual.
Yeah.
So the Democratic Party does have, I'm not going to say that this black woman didn't do everything that she could to win, because she did. We need to honor her and we need to applaud her.
Yes.
But I do think
in 2 months too.
I do think that what you said was the Democratic Party needs to reorganize and stop pandering to the black vote and start delivering to the black people.
Deliver for us and watch us work hard to expand this coalition.
There you go. Well, we are super excited about all of our guests today. Thank every one of you who called in, and thank you for coming in.
D Nash,
Yes. Definitely. And Byron, we truly appreciate you. And unfortunately we run out of time, but we will keep talking about this election until we can't talk about it no more.
And Christian will be back to join us to talk more politics locally too, because we got to talk about, we got 18 months to the next election.
We got to get ready, y'all.
We got to get ready.
We got to be the people that get you ready, and we are dedicated to doing so. But in the meantime, in between time, we're dedicated to getting out of here because time has run out just for the show. But we always want to encourage you to keep Love 24 alive, especially today. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them, and show someone that you do know how much you love them. Leave
Republican or Democrat.
It doesn't matter. Land on love. I love you, Action Jackson.
I love you, Tamara Fair. Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you.
Up next is AC Green. Right after that is Pastor Patterson on the drive home. We do it all night long right here on Inspiration 1390. Peace, y'all, and stay optimistic.
And we're ready.
Thank you guys so much. Hey, Corey. Y'all,
Who? Who's DeAndre?
I'm so excited you guys.
Right now, bro. You better ask
Mom.
me a question.
Oh, that's a good point.
Thank you, mother-in-law. You guys, thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow. We will talk more about politics.
Well, wait
more
till
about
we
this election, and more about our local elections too. And start getting galvanized, because we don't use this platform lightly. We know that we have a very
give us that
loyal audience, and we want to do something with it to make and move the needle of our communities forward. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.
And stay optimistic.